Welcome to Leadership Drip. I'm your host, Ralph Henderson. Thank you so much for being here. And I know you're going to be excited with today's guest. We are going to hear about leadership in the NFL. We're going to hear about leadership in business. And then maybe we'll talk about leadership in family. Our guest today is none other than former NFL safety, Nate Salley. Nate, welcome.
How's it going, Ralph? Great to be here. I appreciate you for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. Are you kidding me? Hey, help the audience out. Tell us about kind of where you were and what happened when you were in the NFL as it relates to leadership.
Yeah. So I was fortunate to get drafted in 2006, the 121st pick in the fourth round, a day that I'll never forget, to the Carolina Panthers. So I spent 4 years in the NFL with the Panthers. I was fortunate to be a part of this amazing organization. Unfortunately, I spent 2 out of my 4 years on injured reserve, where I had to do a lot of soul searching, right? And throughout that entire process, I always prided myself on still being a leader, still carrying myself the right way. When I stepped foot in the facility, whether I was injured or 100% healthy, I always took pride in being a guy that uplifted guys in the locker room. And I still get guys that would come to me and say, "Man, I don't know how you did that when you were going through that situation." And that's kind of what it all meant for me, is the impact that I was going to be able to have on the lives in that locker room beyond just the game of football. So it definitely was an amazing time, and, glad to have been a part of this organization. And obviously we hung around. We love Charlotte and the surrounding areas, so we made it home.
Well, as obviously a big fan of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
I certainly remember you. And look, that's what I've heard. I've heard you were a leader on the field, you were a leader off the field, and everybody appreciated that. You were somebody that had a lot of credibility. And as you know, that's important, especially in that environment. Mm-hmm. So let's talk now about how that helped you then leverage what you were doing then with the NFL to what you're doing now, because really what you're doing now is pretty impressive in the world of leadership.
Yeah, thank you. Leading up to that, my entire life, I had always kind of found myself in leadership positions, whether it was me playing ball in my neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. High school, I was a captain at Ohio State. I'll never forget Heisman Trophy winner Troy Smith, our freshman year. We're sitting in the dorm room cracking jokes at each other. And he's like, "Man, you're going to be a captain." And I ended up being a captain my senior year. And also I was voted most inspirational player on our team my senior year at Ohio State. Wow. Then I get here with the Panthers. And although I didn't get a chance to play a ton because, my injuries, I still was, I would say, one of the most respected guys in that locker room. And I could still reach out, to a guy like Pep or Steve and have that respect where we have those conversations that are far beyond just the game of football. So that's something I've always taken pride in. And when I got into corporate America, I found the same thing happening, right? I would find myself in a position for a year, and a year later, I'm in a leadership role, right? So like I said, eight out of my 10 years in corporate America, I spent in leadership positions, whether it be as a manager, as a supervisor. So that just seems to be a part of what I was put on this earth for. And I came to realize that, and I committed the rest of my life to doing that in a positive way. And that's through my business that I created, Audible Coaching and Consulting, which exists to help individuals identify their purpose and make whatever adjustments they need to make in their lives to fulfill their potential. So I seek to help individuals be better leaders, to be better executives, better employees, better family members, better fathers, better, sons, friends, things of that nature. So I really love that part of, what I'm doing and utilizing the journey that I've been blessed with to be able to impact the lives of others in a positive way.
Well, and I got to tell you, I love the name. I mean, you think about what you did in the NFL and what you're doing now. I mean, the Audible part of it is so important. But as a business owner, how many times do I have to make Audibles? And man, oh man, you talk about the last year and everything that's going on. I actually, and I'm not just saying this, I like that better than pivot, which is what everybody's been using. Instead of pivoting, we need to make an Audible. So what have you seen in this last 15 months as it relates to what we're going through, where, you might be able to help somebody who's watching this or listening as far as making Audibles and going in another direction?
Yeah. I think a big thing that I've witnessed with clients this past year has been the dire need for clarity, right? Clarity around, who they are individually as people, and also as an organization, who are we, right? Being clear on that, and then taking steps back and identifying and clarifying whether our actions are aligning with who we are and who we believe we were created to be, right? As individuals and as an organization. So that's been a big piece, is really helping people have that clarity, because there's been a lot of stuff going on, right? That can pull us in different directions, and we can easily say, oh, this is an amazing thing to do. Let me try and do this. But if it's not aligned with who we are and who we were created to be and why we created this organization, then eventually they're still going to feel like there's a gap and something missing, right? So that's been a big piece. And, it's one of those conversations that prior to COVID and everything that's occurred over the past year and a half, a lot of people weren't as open to having that dialogue as they are now. And I think it's been a blessing in disguise as far as the business goes. And it's not even the business, but as far as the desired impact that we seek to have. It's been huge, because a lot of people are more open-minded to things like that, and open-minded to, not only just the professional development, but the personal development of their employees and things of that nature. So it's definitely opened up some great dialogue, and we've seen some great impact. We've seen some individuals go in and, be afraid maybe to have a conversation with the senior level leader, right? Because they feel like they're just going to shoot them down, and they able to have that dialogue and have that communication and see results, because there are blind spots that people in those positions can't see based on the individuals working on the floor every day and the things that they see, right? So we've been able to kind of bridge that gap as well from a communication standpoint. And most importantly, like I said, just clarity around who we are and what steps we need to take to align our lives and our actions with who we were created to be, or who our organization was created to be, has been huge, and it's transformational.
Yeah, no doubt. And man, you talk about something that you took from the field to business, having clarity, whether you're playing in the NFL or you're running a business. We need to have clarity. And as you know, this show is produced by the Queen City Leaders Summit, and we too talk about clarity. And we have a summit coming up in October on the 21st in Charlotte, North Carolina, with Casey Crawford, who, as you know, was on one of the Super Bowl winning teams back in the day. And, that's something he's going to address and talk about, just how we need to be clear and how we need to work with one another. Hey, before I let you go, how are things at home? What's going on with the family?
Things are great. I have 3 amazing children, amazing wife for 14 years now. And, we have 3 kids. My oldest is 9. His name is Brooklyn. My boy is 7. His name is Nate the third. We call him Trey. Wow. And then my youngest is 3, soon to turn like 33 or 35 any day now. Her name is Journey. And she's giving us everything we can handle. But it's a major blessing. And I just been honored to, a lot of times as parents, we want to share messages with our kids. And I've always prided myself, even as an athlete and now in corporate America, I want to be a living example of what I'm sharing with individuals, right? I want to be a product of the product that I'm trying to, provide to you, right? And I do that with my kids. I just left a very comfortable job. I was making good money. I had a great schedule. I had a great boss, everything. And I told my kids, hey, daddy's following what he believes he's been put on this earth to do. And I want to encourage you, even now in your life, when you have that thing inside of you that's tugging at you, that you feel called to do, like trust it and find a way to align your actions in your life with it. And that's where the magic happens. So that's what I try to encourage people to do every day. And every chance that I get to speak about it, every chance I get to help someone bridge that gap between where they are and where they know they're capable of being, I'm as fulfilled as I've ever been in any other point in my life. So I dedicate the rest of my life to this work, and excited to continue making a difference. And like I said, utilizing my journey to help inspire others.
Well, I can tell you, if anybody has watched or listened to this and they're not inspired, their wood is completely wet. Okay? Because you are very inspirational. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate how you really helped walk us through, what you did in professional sports and how you then leveraged that into business. But man, oh man, to bring that home with the family and the application of that is fantastic. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can reach me on social media. I'm at the Audible Coach on most platforms, or you can just look up Nate Salley. My website is audiblecoachingandconsulting.com, Audible Coaching and AND, not the and sign, and consulting.com. And then my email is, nsalley, the end, my last name, Salley, at audiblecoachingandconsulting.com. So I would love to, hear from anyone if they have any inquiries. Like I said, I love this work and would love to support any way I can.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much. I wish you the very best. I look forward to seeing you real soon, and you have a wonderful year.
Thanks, Ralph. Same to you. Thank you.